As I speak to you right now, it's 1:10 in the morning, Los Angeles time. So if my voice sounds a little lower than normal, that's just because I don't want to wake up everybody in the house. So excuse me for that. With that being said, I had to speak on this and get this off of my chest right now, because to be honest, I'm just furious and livid. So let's talk about it. Earlier this afternoon, Mayor Garcetti had a press conference here in LA speaking on the situation and the protests surrounding George Floyd. I want to read a little piece from this article here from Deadline titled "Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti, City Officials Cutting $100 million to $150 million from LAPD Budget, Funds to be Reinvested in Communities of Color." So you already see where this is going. That is, if you've been a subscriber to this channel for quite some time now. Let's start reading this article. I just want to read a little piece of it. And I quote, this is Mayor Garcetti here. "We will not be increasing out police budget," end quote, said the mayor. That allocation is pegged at $1.8 billion in the mayor's previously proposed budget. Garcetti spoke of, and I quote, "reinvesting in black communities and communities of color," end quote. The mayor proceeded to announce $250 million in cuts to the proposed budget and to reallocate those dollars to communities of color. So, and I quote, "we can invest in jobs, in education, and healing," end quote. LA Police Commission President Elaine Decker then announced that $100 million to $150 million of those cuts would come from the police department budget. Okay. Last time I checked, George Floyd was not a person of color, he was black. Last time I checked, everybody and their grandmothers are out protesting, screaming, "Black Lives Matter." Last time I checked, in Washington, D.C., people were screaming out, "Stop killing black people. Stop killing black people." Last time I checked, the catalyst for this entire movement that's going on here in the United States was not simply George Floyd, but also Ahmaud Arbery, as well as Breonna Taylor. All black, not people of color. Last time I checked, that is. Maybe I could be wrong. So can somebody please explain to me how now, when it's time for solutions, legislation, and or earmarked funds to be set aside to solve these issues that are clearly plaguing predominantly the black community, how is it possible that all this stuff now goes to communities of color? How is that possible? Do black Americans get anything from DACA? Do you get anything from fast track citizenship programs? What do you get out of that? Do you get anything from legislation and earmark funds that are given to the LGBTQ community for their issues? What do you get out of that? What about issues plaguing women in general? Do you get anything from those pieces of legislation? Do you get anything from those earmarked funds? No, you don't get anything. And I'm sure there'll be somebody in the comment section slick talking saying, "Oh, but when it comes to the women's movement, black women get some of that." No, they don't. Check the stats. Last time I checked, unless I'm wrong, which I know I'm not, black women make far less money a year than white women do. But the feminists don't talk about that now, do they? They don't talk about that income inequality between black women and white women. They keep that on the hush. And there's a lot more discrepancies than that. But they won't tell you about that, will they? No, they won't. So don't sit up here talking to me about how black women benefit from women's rights. No, the hell they don't. When women have issues, their issues get addressed directly. When Hispanic has issues concerning immigration, their issues get handled directly. When the LGBTQ have issues, their issues get handled directly. When you have issues, the solution for you is everybody gets the benefit and everybody gets to eat off that. Everybody gets to level up off of black pain. Everybody does, except for black Americans. Everybody gets their needs met directly, except for you. And the Democratic Party does this religiously. Trust me, I know Republicans are no better. But the Democratic Party is supposed to be your party, right? They're supposed to be the ones that are for you, aren't they? Yet they routinely, consistently, and religiously bypass any type of legislations or earmark funds that would actually directly benefit the black community. It always goes to people of color and or minorities. It never goes directly to the needs of the black community, ever. Everybody is out here in the streets right now yelling Black Lives Matter, Breonna Taylor's life matters, Ahmaud Arbery's life matters, George Floyd's life matters. Stop killing black people. But when it's time for solutions and it's time for benefits, it's time for legislation and it's time for earmark funds, everybody's getting a piece of that pie. And when everybody gets a piece of that pie, you don't benefit. And that's why we're still in the position that we've been in for the last 50 years since the end of the civil rights movement. If black lives truly mattered, then nobody should have any problems with that $250 million going directly to the benefit of black Americans in Los Angeles. That is, if black lives actually matters. And the same goes for every other city in this country. If black lives actually matter, then it should be no problem that all the earmark funds and set aside funds that are going to come about from this should be going directly to black Americans and to the benefit of black Americans, because you're all shouting Black Lives Matter, right? So then what's the problem? Everybody gets to eat off of black pain, and everybody gets to level up off of black pain. But black folks can't eat and level up off of LGBTQ pain, immigration, Hispanic pain, women's pain. No, you don't get to level up off of anybody else, but everybody gets to level up off of you. Listen to me clearly. There are no black communities in Los Angeles, okay? Black Los Angeles has been dead for quite some time now. If you're not from LA, come out here and you find you an old head, an elderly black man or woman, and you ask them about black LA. Ain't no black LA. It's gone. It's been gone. There are no black communities. Unless these earmark funds are going to be going directly to specific project housings in Los Angeles like Imperial Courts or Nickerson Gardens, then it's not going to any type of black community at all whatsoever, because there is no black community in Los Angeles anymore. There is no black Los Angeles. The majority of black people in Los Angeles live in South Central, but we are not the dominant group down here in South Central. As we speak, South Central LA is being gentrified. As we speak, Inglewood is being gentrified. White folks are moving in down here like crazy. In the next 5 years, Crenshaw and Slauson will be unrecognizable, with the exception of if possibly the Marathon store is still there, because the city of LA has been trying to take that plaza from the Nipsey Hussle family. If it's still there, that will be the only thing remaining from the original Crenshaw and Slauson area. That'll be it. That'll ever remind you that black folks live there. In the next 5 years, they're all going to be gone for the most part. And by and large, as far as population is concerned, Hispanics dominate Los Angeles. This money is not going to black folks. It's not going to benefit you. And these Democrats do this to you consistently, and it's very deliberate to make sure that you remain locked at the bottom of the economic totem pole. And I guarantee you, what Mayor Garcetti is doing here in Los Angeles, you're going to see this done all across America. None of these earmark funds are going to be reallocated to black communities. They're going to be going to communities of color. And if you're still listening at this point, but you've been reading the comments and you see people who aren't black that have a problem with what I have to say, they're only mad because they know I'm telling the truth. And with all that being said, I ain't got no more talking. So go on ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. Also, make sure you follow me on Twitter at TD Hip Hop Media. Make sure you also text TD Hip Hop to number 33222. That way you'll get a direct text message whenever I release a new video. But it also serves as a protection plan for myself in case YouTube ever decides to give this channel the axe. That way I'll be able to send you a direct link to where you can find me next. And last but not least, if you've been following this channel for quite some time now and have love and appreciation for the work that I do on here, the number one way you can show your support to me is through Patreon for only $5 a month. That'll help put me in position to be able to take TD Hip Hop Media off of YouTube. Remember, the goal is not to grow big on YouTube, but to grow independent of YouTube.